I am Mariela Lucaj. I graduated CCRI in 2018 with my associates in nursing, and most currently I am a registered nurse that's traveling for crisis contracts, one of which is a COVID contract right now, so for a pop-up hospital that is serving COVID patients.
So when did you graduate from CCRI? What degree did you earn here? And what other education have you pursued since graduating from CCRI?
Sure. So I graduated CCRI in 2018 with my associates in nursing. And right after I graduated CCRI, I took the bridge program to the University of Rhode Island to complete my bachelor's. It was a really natural, easy transition. The two colleges kind of worked together to make it seamless. Nurses these days, most hospitals require a bachelor's degree. And so the two colleges working together made that easy for me to accomplish. Since then, I've also gotten degrees or certifications, I should say, in infection control, just something I'm curious about as I might pursue a career in public health.
What does an average day look like for you?
It's interesting because a Tuesday is the same as a Sunday in the healthcare field. It never ends. It's a 24-hour job. So a Tuesday, I work day shift. So I go in very early at 7 a.m. We start the day. I go into the unit. For this contract, I'm in a COVID unit. So first I have to gown up with all PPE, and then I step onto the unit and take report from the night shift nurse. We have anywhere from 3 to 5 patients. With this assignment, we try not to go up to 5, just because patients are slightly more acute. But in a typical nursing field, you can go up to 5 patients if you're on a medical surgical floor. After I get report, I go through their charts, I look at lab values, I read their past medical history, look into their medications, make sure that they're all proper for what the patient is here for and be treated properly. And then after that, I make my rounds on the patients. In most hospitals, the providers, whether they're nurse practitioners, medical doctors, physician's assistants, they round at 8 to 9 a.m. So you kind of have about an hour to an hour and a half to go into the patient's rooms, introduce yourself. You may be giving medications, and then you can kind of do a quicker head-to-toe assessment just to make sure you kind of have an overall image of the patient. And then once the doctors are rounding, you tend to meet with the doctors, give them your recommendations, share what observations you've made, what you've seen from their charts. And then after that, you can kind of keep moving through the day, dealing with patients' issues, problems, making them more comfortable, assessing new needs. And 12 hours, I'm a 12-hour nurse, so I work less shifts, but I work longer shifts. You do find things to do in those 12 hours. You're very busy, especially on a medical surgical floor.
And how has your CCRI experiences contributed to your success in your current job?
That is a great question because CCRI has probably had the biggest impact on my life, but also on my life as a registered nurse. My schoolwork at CCRI was a night and weekend program. So a lot of my peers had kids at home, multiple jobs, or changing fields. So I was in a very diverse group, which gave me the best experience because on top of my clinicals, I also was able to work with other people who came from all sorts of walks through life. So going into a field where I am dealing with patients who have very varying needs and come from different families, different cultures, it felt very natural walking into it. I could kind of assess their needs very easily, and it was comforting to see that CCRI prepared me very well for something like this.
Great. And just one more question for you. What advice would you give current CCRI students hoping to enter your career field?
The one piece of advice I would give future registered nurses that are going into CCRI is, one, connect with your faculty. They have a lot to offer, regardless if they're in the specialty that you're interested in. And two, take advantage of those clinical hours. You don't really realize how multifaceted nursing is until you're actually on the floor and seeing everything that a nurse has to do. So when you're at clinicals, kind of observe the other nurses, see what they're doing, see how they're handling problems. It's a skill set that kind of grows throughout time, and every single day I am learning something new. So as much as you can learn from your professors and from your clinical days, take it all in like a sponge.